Let's do the list. Ranking top 10 stars playing their first Copa America. Drum roll. Drop it for us, Dez. Producer Dez. We're starting with 10. Jonathan David. Have you lost your mind? Oh, Dez, come on with this. No. Jonathan David does not make the list of top 10 stars making their first Copa America appearance. Come on.
That's rough, Charlie. I'm just saying.
No. Come on.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Kendry Paez going to Chelsea. He's the youngest player in this tournament. So I have no issue with that in terms of, someone you're going to be excited about. So we can see that. Okay. But Jonathan David, let's see 1 through 5. Because then we can really dive deep here. Because yeah. So Endrick is 1. I can't agree with that.
A little low.
Rodrigo's 1 here.
Yeah, Rodrigo.
We're talking about Real Madrid. What? Darwin Nunez, Alphonso Davies, Alexis McAllister. Okay, so my problem here is definitely Rodrigo's got to be 1. But Christian Pulisic has already played, so he's not on this.
Yeah,
so the only American that could be on this realistically is Weston McKennie, right? Would you say he's the second best player on the U.S. team, or in terms of guys who are playing regularly in Europe, guys who are at a big club? You could make an argument for Anthony Robinson, who's playing regularly, in terms of guys who are consistent coming into Copa America. But we didn't see Garnacho, we didn't see Martinelli, we didn't see Ederson, who just won a Europa League with Atalanta.
Did Martinelli play in one already, though?
No,
he didn't. Okay.
No. Gabriel Magalhaes, starting center back at Arsenal, could arguably, he's top 4.
Bremer as a center back, right? I think this is his first one. Of course, those aren't that's not a sexy name, but
you guys just don't want Brazilians on this list.
I'm just saying we can't have Jonathan David as a top 10. Come on, he doesn't make that list.
Was McAllister on that? He was on that list, right?
McAllister was on
there. Yeah, okay.
Enzo Fernandez and McAllister.
I'm a fan of his. For me, Rodrigo's got to be
Enciso
1.
of Paraguay from Brighton. He's also making his first appearance.
Great little young player.
And then John
How about
Arias.
Valverde? Did Valverde play?
He's already played. Yeah, he's already played.
All right.
Yeah. But from Colombia, John Arias and John Duran both are making their Copa America debut.
I think John Duran has a little bit more to do to get on that top 10 list.
I agree.
Certainly talent-wise, he could be there, but he's
not Chelsea wants him, Bri.
Premier League. Yeah, I know Chelsea
wants him, and they're willing to pay.
Chelsea wants everybody, Tone.
Hey, I'll throw in Facundo Pellistri, who was at Manchester United, right?
Yeah,
known to La Liga, and then Manuel Ugarte at PSG, another Uruguay player who you could argue to be in that top 10. So. Yeah, I mean, there are a number of big players in Copa America. I think that's what we're getting to. We're making their debut in the tournament. But come on, guys, with that list.
I think Dez, when putting together this list, he's probably like, I'm going to have so much fun listening to these guys talk about who should and shouldn't be on the list.
Yeah, I mean, from CONCACAF, guys who are going to be in this list, you could make the argument for sure. Alphonso Davies is the top 10 player, 100%. I mean. He's at Bayern Munich. He's potentially heading to Real Madrid. He scored in that Champions League semifinal second leg at the Santiago Bernabeu for sure, top 10. But then from the U.S. perspective, who would you go next if there was a one U.S. player to make that top 10? Who is that player?
I mean, Weston is logical. Could Timothy Weah have a breakout tournament? Like I know
could be, but is he a top 10 star going in?
No, he's not top 10. I mean, if Tyler played, I could see him in here. I could also see Weston just because of the moment. Like Weston kind of shines for me in these type of moments. I can't really. I'd like to tell you that we have a number 9 that would be on this list, but at the moment,
Nope.
I don't think we do. The two of them are on the podcast right now, so that's not going to help. And you know, yeah, Weston would be the guy, right? I mean, I'm just thinking, like, I want to
You
see.
could
Chris
make an argument
Richards,
for Anthony Robinson, I guess, because
Anthony
he did
Robinson.
lead
That's a good one. Yeah, that's
top
a good one.
top
That
five
might be the other one.
for backs with interceptions across all the top 5 European leagues. Consistent, playing at Fulham, Manchester City are interested. Milan were interested. So that's one player that you say, okay, as in terms of left backs in the tournament, probably going to be one of the standouts. So yeah, I mean, this list got me fired up. Come on, Dez. Is there someone that we're missing? I would just say that. I would just say the order has to drastically change.
Why do you hate Jonathan David so much?
I don't hate him.
I saw that in the
all.
comments. I just clicked on, so I learned now.
See, now here we go.
Stirring the pot, Tone. I love it.
No, we've seen Jonathan David for the past 4 years kind of be at the same level, and he had one incredible season at Lille, and we haven't seen anything come from it, right? And there are his name is always linked to all these clubs, but they're not willing to pull the trigger because there's something missing from his game. And what is that thing missing from his game? I think it's the influence. Like he's not super fast, right? So he's not quick, he's not fast. He's smart with his movement, and he's a pretty good finisher, but he's not creating his own chances. The way he kind of moves, it's kind of all the same pace. For me, I don't know if it's convincing enough at those levels. I think he's almost playing where he should be at, in my opinion. And you're not going to sign him for Milan or a Bayern Munich or a Dortmund and go, this is the guy we can depend on to score 20 goals a season.
Yeah, but beyond Alphonso Davies, he's the one that's really going to be causing all the problems for teams that are playing against Canada.
I think Tejan's more dangerous than him.
So Tejan is not going to be scoring goals like Jonathan David is.
But he causes more problems.
I mean, he's a disruptive player. He is. Yeah. And he's quick, and he can get balls put into the penalty area, but I don't see him anywhere near as effective for Canada than Jonathan David.
Do you think
my opinion.
Do you think Jesse Marsch will, because it seems like he wasn't able to utilize Kyle Aaron and Jonathan David together, and maybe has to play one or the other. And I don't think he can play in that two with them both at the same time, especially if they're just playing as two strikers. Do you think he will benefit by just being the lone guy and have more people around to get him service, so to speak?
Yeah, like more people playing underneath him.
Yeah, because when he plays underneath, I just feel like that's a waste of his talent.
Yeah, because you want him in the penalty area, don't you? Because he's, like you said, his movement is very good. And he understands how to sort of go missing as far as against the defender, and the defender has to try and find you. And those are the special times that he then makes these quick movements inside the penalty area to get free. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Jesse uses that situation, because they could go big and small up top, or they could have Jonathan David just be the one. And like you said, you've got some talented players that can play in and around him, but I just think Tejan Buchanan is more of a winger. I don't think he's going to come inside and help that side of the things for Canada.
No, yeah.
But it's an exciting time for Canada for sure. And they're just like us. This is the last time they're going to be in a competition where they're going to be challenged and have a lot of questions asked of themselves before the World Cup.
And I saw a comment here. David is way better than Tejan. Tejan's at Inter Milan for a reason. What do you mean way better? It's arguable to say that he's better. What forget way better.
I'm glad I asked you, Charlie, because I honestly I was joking with you, and I didn't think you were going to answer. But just listening to you two guys and the way you think about the number 9s, and for obvious reasons, Just a great conversation. So I'm glad I asked, and I didn't think I
I'm
was
glad
getting
you
an
asked
answer,
too.
but it was great though.
It's because Jonathan David isn't used as a 9 with Canada. He's like, when he's playing with Kyle Aaron, he checks so deep, so then you lose his effectability because he's not quick and he's not a creative midfielder. And now you're asking him to drop at the deep turn and then try and play balls to Tajon Buchanan or Alphonso Davies or Kyle Aaron. It's like, that's not his game. So that brings me to some of the honorable mentions, and I please forgive me, all the Jamaican fans out there. Leon Bailey could be in the top 10, or Mikel Antonio. If you see fit, you could argue those two, but Jamaica has a lot to prove in this tournament. I'm interested in